సో నేను ఇక్కడ ఒక సెక్యూరిటీ ప్లేస్కి వచ్చాను అనమాట. కంప్లీట్ సైలెన్స్ ఇక్కడ, కంప్లీట్ నోబుల్ సైలెన్స్ అండ్ నో రికార్డింగ్ డివైజెస్, నో ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ డివైజెస్, నో ఫోన్, నో ల్యాప్టాప్. There is not even internet connectivity in nearby these places. 2 weeks retreat ki ఇది ఆల్మోస్ట్ అయిపోతుంది. సో ఐ విల్ షేర్ మై ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ అండ్ హౌ ఇట్ ఈస్ అండ్ హౌ ఇట్ వాస్ బెనిఫిషియల్ టు మీ. సో especially this whole retreat is for meditation. One of my main motivation to come for this kind of retreat is to get established in meditation practice. I was reading a lot of literature pertaining to meditation, even listening so many books on Audible. But when I start the meditation start చేసినప్పుడు I should continue it for maybe 1 week, 2 weeks. So daily ఒక half an hour to 1 hour practice. So maybe after 1 week or 2 weeks, at max 3 to 4 weeks, at some point curve ఇలా ఉంది, అలా starting అలా it was decreasing. The amount of time I was meditating was decreasing, and the amount of time I am allocating to the meditation is also decreasing. Even my thoughts wandered a lot and I couldn't fully focus on meditating. So that's why I decided, so I researched a lot of which places are there in my vicinity where I can go, mostly within India. So I found this ashram where they will allow you to stay for from 3 days to 3 months at a stretch, even longer if you want to. But so I came for this 2-week retreat, and usually it happens that we need to meditate for at least a few hours, like maybe 10 to 12 hours per day. And ఎలా ఫోన్స్ ఉండవు, ల్యాప్టాప్స్ ఉండవు, నో ఇంటర్నెట్ కనెక్టివిటీ. సో అండ్ యూ షుడ్ నాట్ టాక్ టు వన్ అనదర్, కంప్లీట్ నోబుల్ సైలెన్స్ మెయింటైన్ చేయాలి. కాబట్టి ఆల్ యూ కాన్సన్ట్రేట్ ఈజ్ ఆన్ మెడిటేషన్. అపార్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ హ్యావింగ్ బ్రేక్ఫాస్ట్, లంచ్ అండ్ డిన్నర్, యూ గెట్ యూ టైమ్ టు స్లీప్. అపార్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ దోస్, complete meditation. So that's why I choose this place. So on day 1, right, so at a stretch I couldn't sit for more than maybe 40 minutes at max. After that I used to get agitated, maybe because of some pain used to crop up in knees or spine area. So that used to happen for maybe it happened till day 3. So usually we have at max 2-hour session at a continuous stretch. So I was able to manage. Okay, సో ఎంతసేపు కూర్చోగలిగితే అంతసేపు అలా కూర్చొని మెడిటేషన్లో అనమాట, ఇంకా కదలకుండా సేమ్ పోస్చర్లో ఉండడానికి ఐ ట్రైడ్ మై లెవెల్ బెస్ట్. సో అట్ సమ్ పాయింట్ వెన్ యూ ఫీల్ ఏ లాట్ ఆఫ్ పెయిన్, అది క్రోనిక్ పెయిన్ భరించలేనంటే అలా అనిపించినప్పుడు యూ కాంట్ విత్స్టాండ్, రైట్. సో దట్ యూస్ టు హ్యాపెన్. మేబీ ఐ షుడ్ సిట్ కంఫర్టబుల్లీ ఫర్ 1 hour after 3 days. But the real magic happened after 6th day. From 6th day, when I completely learned the mastery of the technique which they are teaching here. So I thought actually a process anta oka cycle కింద ఉంటుంది అనమాట. So you need to observe the sensations on your whole body from top of your head to toe and from back toe to head. And after that you need to observe sensations inside your body, and then you need to observe sensations on the spine. So on day 7th I went to the pagoda cell. So they will allot you some pagoda cells for individual meditation practice. So at any time you can go to that pagoda cell and practice. There won't be any sensory input there. అక్కడ లైట్ ఉండదు, అవి లైట్ ఉండదు, no sound, no disturbance, so completely free from all external sensory input, so you can meditate peacefully. So on day 7th, I don't remember the date because నాకు ఫోన్ లేదు కాబట్టి, సో ఐ డోంట్ రిమెంబర్ ద ఎగ్జాక్ట్ డేట్, మేబీ అరౌండ్ March 8th or 9th. So I sat for meditation and I thought I'll complete one whole cycle. No matter what, I won't leave that place. With strong determination and resolve, I went to the pagoda cell at around night 7:30 p.m. So at first I was a little bit hesitated and I couldn't concentrate more on sensations. So I did this anapana, where you just observe the breath and do nothing else, just observe the breath. After getting relaxed for a few minutes, I thought it's time for complete practice and I should go through one cycle. So I started observing sensations right from the top of my head, the whole head, face, shoulders, biceps, triceps, మొత్తం legs, మొత్తం whole upper body, lower body, and from back to top. So whenever I used to feel solidified intensity, ఎప్పుడైతే ఆ ఇంటెన్సిటీ సాలిడిఫైగా ఉందో, సో ఐ యూస్ టు కాన్సన్ట్రేట్ ఎట్ దట్ పార్ట్ ఫర్ సమ్ టైమ్ టిల్ దట్ సాలిడిఫైడ్ ఇంటెన్సిటీ డిజాల్వ్స్. సో అలా ఒక కంప్లీట్ సైకిల్ కంప్లీట్ చేసిన వెంటనే నెక్స్ట్ ఐ వెంట్ త్రూ ద హోల్ బాడీ, లోపల ఆ బాడీ లోపల ఉన్న సెన్సేషన్స్ తప్పించడం స్టార్ట్ చేశాను అనమాట. ఈవెన్ ఇట్ వాస్ డన్, అండ్ ఆఫ్టర్ దట్ I started observing sensations in my spine, and even this was done అయిపోయింది. But it took me a little longer. I thought it took me a little longer. సర్ఫేస్ మీద బాడీ అంతా అబ్జర్వ్ చేసింది ఒక ఎక్స్ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ టైం అనుకుంటే, ఆ స్పైన్ మీద ఆ సాలిడిఫైడ్ ఇంటెన్షన్స్, ఆ సాలిడిఫై అయిన సెన్సేషన్స్ ఆ డిజాల్వ్ అయ్యి నార్మల్ మైక్రో సెన్సేషన్స్ రావడానికి ఇట్ టుక్ మీ 2x or 3x అలా పట్టింది అనుకున్నా. ఐ డోంట్ నో బికాజ్ ఐ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ క్లాక్ బ్యాక్ దేర్. అండ్ ఇన్ దట్ వే ఐ కంప్లీటెడ్ ద హోల్ సైకిల్. మొత్తం ఒక సైకిల్ అంతా అయిపోయింది. ఐ వాజ్ కంప్లీట్లీ ఫోకస్. అండ్ best part is here is that usually when you sit for meditation, right, if you take time out for 1 hour, usually in the beginning you can hardly concentrate for maybe 20-30 minutes, maybe not even that, 10-20 minutes. Most of the time mind wanders a lot, but in this particular session, right, I hardly noticed my mind wandering. At the initial starting, when I observed the breath, I observed my mind wandering a bit, but after that అసలు మైండ్ వాండర్ ఎక్కడ వేరే వేరే ఆలోచిస్తున్నా అది ఎక్కడ నాకు అనిపించలేదు అనమాట. సో నైట్ 7:38 ఆ టైం కల్లా స్టార్ట్ చేశాను కదా పిఎం. సో ఈ సైకిల్ అంతా కంప్లీట్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత ఐ కేమ్ అవుట్ అండ్ ఐ సా ద టైం. అక్కడ డిజిటల్ క్లాక్ ఉంటుంది, సో ఐ సా ద టైం అండ్ ఇట్ వాజ్ 6:30. I was shocked. I thought I'd travel back in time. I started at 7:30 p.m. and it was 6:30 p.m. I thought this meditation technique, no one ఎవరు చెప్పలేదు కానీ ఇలాంటి మెడిటేషన్ వల్ల వాట్ ఆర్ ద బెనిఫిట్స్ యూ ఆర్ గోనా గెట్. బట్ బ్యాక్ ఇన్ 2.5 millennia back, 2500 years ago, when Buddha he meditated and when he wanted to liberate and when he wanted to get enlightened, uh, it was said that he saw unlimited number of his past lives and his future lives and so on. So even thought it happened to me. uh, he is Buddha. He's got so much. He was already so much established into so that practice, and he wanted more than his life. So maybe he got to see all the lives of his past. But I just started now. I am a beginner, so I'm a newbie compared to him. So I thought I travel back 1 hour, not even one life, just 1 hour. Anupana. But the real thing what happened is no, it's not a time travel. I didn't travel back in time. The thing that happened is the day got over and it was next day morning. So that was the longest session I had so far. So it was around 10 to 11 hours. So I never thought I could meditate for more than an hour max, without any mind wandering or without any intense pains in body. But I could meditate for 11 hours continuously. See, I can't describe that feeling. I was I, I was at that time. But being an equanimous, I shouldn't get attached to that. Should give equal weightage to both cravings and aversion. Technically, you shouldn't give any weightage to both cravings and aversions. In this technique, you just need to observe what it is, whether it's craving, aversion, whatever it is, you just need to be aware of that. But I forgot about all that because for me, it's a huge thing. Right? So 11 hours at a stretch. The two, I was not a serious meditator. I just came here to experience. But somehow, even that feeling got faded away after recollecting that everything is temporary and yeah. I think today a lot of people are living the ashram, so that's why we can hear some background noise. Otherwise, this whole place is completely silent. It's a noble silence where people won't even make any hand gestures. They won't communicate at all. Apart from the teacher, usually people won't communicate to each other. That's the best part here. Usually, when people communicate, they tend to be not only the external noise, which is disturbance to others who are meditating, it is also very disturbing to some minds that they couldn't meditate. Even if they start meditating, right, all these thoughts, I could have talked like this, or I should have said that, or why I said that. So to avoid all kind of nonsense, this noble silence is the best thing. So anyway, so after that, no, so I never again sat for the whole complete cycle. I never had any goal in mind. I just sat for the meditations, just observing what it is and how my sensations are, and I came back to the senses. Senses in the sense I was aware of what is happening, but not comeback of meditation form whenever I was asked to. So it was an elated experience. So I think maybe in this 10 days I could have easily meditated for nearly maybe 170 to 180 or maybe 200 hours because I slept very less because when you keep on meditating, right, you will get a lot of rest for your brain. And when you sit in sukhasana, right, when you sit in a posture where you are comfortable with, you hardly need any sleep. So I forgot to add this, but the day when I meditated that 11 hours, right? So on that next day, I because usually classes, this meditation start at 8 p.m., 8 a.m. Sorry. So from 8 a.m. it goes on. Usually we have some morning 4:30 to 6:30 session, small session where one can meditate in that pagoda cells. So after that 11 hours from 7:30 to 8:30, whatever I meditated, and I again joined the meditation session with ease, and I was done to the whole day. And I don't know if you can believe it, but I never felt a tinge of tiredness. So that's one benefit. I know that this deep non-sleep meditation, there are some techniques like non-sleep deep meditations where you can rest without sleeping, but I read about them, I never experienced. So this is my first time experiencing that kind of meditation technique. So these are the takeaways. One thing is I realized that I can meditate for so long and I won't even feel that I am meditating those many hours. When I discussed with our teacher, right? So basically, no, usually in the literature I can come across these long meditators where they used to meditate for hours together. One of them is, of course, Gautama Buddha, and in 19th century and all, 19th to 20th century, we have Swami Vivekananda who used to meditate for a long hours. I think even now there are so many people who are serious meditators who meditate for very very long hours. Some even meditate for 24 hours a day. But for me, it's a very new experience because I'm not a serious meditator. I read a lot of literature in meditation, but I never truly experienced before this. So for me, it's a new thing. So one takeaway is that I can meditate for long hours, and second takeaway is I can go on without sleep for a long time by making use of this meditation. So first point, it was absolutely stunning. I never know I could do that, but it happened. And second technique is I know people who have done that, but it's for me it's the first time experiencing. And the third interesting thing is I was never without internet, and uh, I even stopped going to some places where the internet connectivity is very slow. Maybe in last 2 3 years, uh, when I get to go to somewhere, right? So I get to see if the internet connectivity is really good or not. So if it's below the average standards, ఆ ప్లేస్కి వెళ్ళకపోయేది. మోస్ట్లీ I was mostly connected to the internet almost all the time. So this is for the first time I was completely off the grid. No phone, no laptop, uh, not even recording devices, nothing. No electronic devices per se. So for the first time I am experiencing that. And when I thought of this, now I thought uh, I couldn't stay for a long because it's been years, right? It's been years. ఈ ఫోన్కి అటాచ్ అయిపోయి ల్యాప్టాప్కి without them I couldn't imagine the life how it's going, but it so happened that I was glad I got this beautiful experience. Yeah, so I learned this meditation techniques here, right? So I learned this wonderful technique here, so I'll be using it for a long time, and I'm planning to meditate it, use this technique for a very long time, and meditate regularly. So what I'm planning to do is I'll I'll come to live on whatever the medium you are watching right now. In this particular mode of communication, I will be live from 4:30 a.m. till maybe half an hour or 45 minutes or 1 hour. However, time I don't know. I can't decide right now. Maybe at least for an half an hour. I'll be live so from 4:30 to around 5 o'clock and meditating. So, and if any of you would like to join me in this meditation journey, you are very welcome. That's all. యాక్చువల్లీ ఐ స్టార్టెడ్ ఈ వీడియో రికార్డ్ చేసిన అయింది తెలుగులోనే మాట్లాడదామని అలా అనుకుని స్టార్ట్ చేశా. బట్ ఐ డోంట్ నో సమ్హౌ తెలుగు బికమ్ ఇంగ్లీష్. అంటే ఆటోమేటిక్గా వర్డ్స్ చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి ఇంగ్లీష్లోనే కమ్యూనికేట్ చేయడం వల్ల ఐ హ్యావ్ మోర్ ఆఫ్ వొకాబ్ కన్నా యూ కెన్ సే లైక్ మోర్ కంఫర్ట్ ఇన్ ఇంగ్లీష్. సో I hope you don't mind. Maybe I didn't have that strong determination to speak only in Telugu for all these minutes. But anyhow, it's done. So I'm not planning to repeat everything in Telugu. I think nowadays people can understand pretty much because all I did was I shared my experience that in a very simple language. I didn't use any difficult vocabulary. So yeah, so that's it. So I'll show you how this ashram looks. There's so much greenery over here. I think you can see the background. I don't know, maybe I placed the camera placement wrong or right. I don't know how this background scenery looks because there is sun over there, so it acts as key light from there. So I hope it is recording clearly. So now I'll show you the greenery of this ashram, and see you tomorrow at 4:30. And what I'm planning is I established a foundation a few years back. It was completely dedicated to entrepreneurship, for technological assistance and hand holding for entrepreneurs and all. But I want to completely revamp that and change it to meditation, where you can get a lot of available literature for free of cost, and there won't be any such, because these kind of techniques na, this kind of pristine form of knowledge shouldn't be monetized. ప్రతిదాన్ని మనం ఇలా వ్యాపారం కింద బిజినెస్ కింద చూడడం, ఇట్స్ ఏ, I don't know, maybe for some people that's how their professions work, but for me this kind of pristine ఫామ్లో ఒక టెక్నిక్ని ఫర్ ఎ లాంగ్ టైం మెయింటైన్ చేయాలంటే ఇట్ హ్యాస్ టు బీ ఫ్రీ ఆఫ్ కాస్ట్. సో మేబీ విత్ ఇన్ సమ్ టైమ్, whenever I'll take some time out of my schedule, and I'll plan to make that available as soon as possible. So I'll revamp that foundation into the completely meditation related foundation, so you can get a lot of literature, uh, that too in a pristine form. I'll try to get it from the original sources, so that none of the things get diluted in the way of translation, or when things trickle down, right? There are chances for a lot of dilution. So I I think it happened to so many techniques, but somehow the technique I learned, right, so it was maintained in pristine form for a very very long time. So we should be glad to all those who carry forwarded that techniques and all that literature. ఓకే, ప్రిస్టీన్ అంటే ఇక్కడ ప్యూర్ ఫామ్ అనమాట, ప్యూర్ ఫామ్ అని అర్థం. I just said I haven't used any difficult vocabulary, but I think pristine is a kind of intermediate level vocabulary, so I thought I'll say what it is for the benefit of the audience. Yeah, bye. So yeah, so that's the plan. So I'm planning to dedicate at least 2 hours of my life on meditation and gathering that literature and making it available in the pristine form. Yeah, that's all. So now I'll show you around how this greenery is and what are the trees. There are around I don't know, maybe 1,000 plus trees here, and more than 100 plus varieties of trees, from custard to coconut. From custard to coconut, there are 100 plus varieties of flora. There are a lot of flowering trees as well. So if there is some charge available, the charging is available, then I'll take a look around it, and you can feel the presence here. So I thought of showing the place where I meditated, but usually those halls, right, those meditation halls and the pagoda cells, there one should maintain a complete silence. So I don't know if I can take this heavy equipment there, but no, I think it's better not to, because some people are still meditating there and it will be disturbance to them, so I don't want to do that. So I'll show you the greenery. Pathway, small mini garden here. In a mini garden, beautifully decorated. Some plant over there. Yeah. So I'll try to upload the video as it is. I don't wanna make so many cuts, but whenever there is a disturbance around, right, so I just cut that part, and apart from that I will just upload this video as it is. Lot of greenery. All I can see is green, 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 green. And even lot of places too. I don't know what tree it is, but there are no leaves and only flowers. What tree it is? And all these plants are regularly maintained. They have drip systems everywhere, so you can see this greenery at every part of the year. So I think you can hear a bell sound, right? So that's how they inform that our hour is past and another session is about to begin. So there is so much place over there, but I think some people are meditating over there, so it's better not to go near that area.